kitchen. I grabbed myself a blanket because I had some frozen strawberries and it really kind of made me chilly. What I find when I'm switching over in a decorating season is no matter how clean you might keep your house, there's still going to be just little buildup over time. And so I really like to take the opportunity as I'm switching over the decor to be able to just wipe the counters down, give everything a little bit of an extra clean. I have to show you though before we get started. I want to show you, I got these from Hobby Lobby. I'm gonna hang them up. And look at how cute that is. I'm gonna be hanging it up over on the stove area, and I've got this one that goes with it. I just think it's so darling, and I think it matches in our kitchen really well. So I'll go get these hung up, and then I'm gonna do a quick spray down when it comes to the counters.
How do I say goodbye? Caroline, heaven knows I'd stay, but I have to run. Here calling my name, life won't be the same, 'cause she's worth more than all the gold in Mississippi. So I'm leaving now. Don't know if I'll come back around. I'm going out to find her now, even if I bleed on the pavement. Caroline, I'm leaving now. I've been wandering through the woods, chasing all the tracks, stumbling down the road with a thorn in my cap. So I'm leaving now. Don't know if I'll come back around. I'm going out to find her now, even if I bleed on the pavement. Caroline, I'm leaving now.
And we're almost heading towards 7 o'clock. A lot of it is because after decorating, I did go and I took a nap. I don't know about you guys, I found I had a lot of energy that kicked in second trimester. And now that I'm starting to go towards third trimester, I'm definitely going back to getting really tired again. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna make some dinner. I grabbed this recipe from the Eat Like a Girl book by Dr. Mindy. I really like her teachings a lot. And she's got this really good beef stew recipe in here that I will be modifying. And there's a couple of things that I don't have that the book calls for. So I'm gonna start the meat, and then from there, I'm gonna go and head over to the grocery store and just pick up a couple of items that I'm missing from the recipe list. And I'm gonna take a little bit of creative liberties with the recipe as well. So As we're transitioning into the nighttime, it'll be a late dinner, but I kind of like cooking at this time because it's really romantic as the light's dimming and now it's transitioning over into just some candlelight time. It's definitely my favorite time to be able to cook. And now that I have a nap in me, I have some energy to go ahead and do that. So let's go and let's get started on cooking.
Just close your eyes and let them rest. I know it's hard to fall asleep, but do your best. 'Cause there's a place that I go to when I want to hide from all the shades of blue. 'Cause at times I think of leaving, my mind takes me back to fall, when the snow begins to sing goodnight to warm. But I will never leave your side. You're the reason to all my pride. Never wither and runs dry, and your roses are my guides. Goodbye, my friend, our love remains.
So I'm gonna switch it up here because the recipe called for something I like the idea of quite a lot more, which is cooking the beef through my Dutch oven. And so I'm gonna do 4 tablespoons of the butter, and then I'm gonna do, I believe it's 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And I'm going to sear the beef, have it in a catch bowl, so that way I don't overcrowd the beef, and I'm just gonna keep doing that process until all of the beef is cooked. So I'm gonna go ahead and start that now.
If you look close, you see the lilies dance and how they slowly grow. I'm counting years as they go by. Now all the lilies gone and days is brought to life. 'Cause at times I think of leaving, my mind takes me back to fall, when the snow begins to sing goodnight to warm. But I will never leave your side. You're the reason to all my pride. Never wither and runs dry, and your roses are my guides. Goodbye, my friend, our love remains, but not this way. I'm in your garden as a tale.
Okay, so we're back from the grocery store. It's like dark 30, so I have a feeling we'll probably be cooking well into 11 o'clock tonight, but that's okay. I knew that when I looked at the ingredients and realized I didn't have everything, so I got the last absolutely necessary essentials for this recipe, in my opinion. I got myself some of the beef broth, as well as I got some ground allspice. By the way, I popped this open already and it smells amazing. I forgot how much I love the smell of ground allspice. I did get some chili garlic sauce, I should say. When it comes to the recipe, I think it just says chili sauce, but we'll see how well this one works out with the garlic in there. I personally like garlic, so I don't think I'm gonna have a problem with it. As well as some Italian parsley, and it's still in the bag, but coconut sugar. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this started because it's, as I said, it's already dark 30. We'll be cooking probably well into the night, and we'll get this going. Whoop, away we go. I flee to cook.
But I will never leave your side. You're the reason to all my pride. Never wither and runs dry, and your roses are my guides. Goodbye, my friend, our love remains, but not this way. I'm in your garden as a tale. Just feel the wind You see the lilies dance and how they slowly grow. I'm counting years as they go by. Now all the lilies gone and daisies brought to life. 'Cause at times I think of leaving. My mind takes me back to fall, when the snow begins to sing goodnight to all. But I will never leave your side. You're the reason to all my pride. Never wither and runs dry. And your roses are my guides. Goodbye, my friend. Our love remains, but not this way. I'm in your garden as a tale. But I will never leave your side. You're the reason to all my pride. Never wither and runs dry. And your roses are my guides. Goodbye, my friend. Our love remains, but not this way. I'm in your garden as a tale.
So I've been thinking a lot when it comes to approaching the third trimester, which now I'm in my third trimester. It's really going by super fast. Is that I am trying to think of like meals that I can prep for postpartum, and I've heard a lot of women recommend that because that's just such a crazy season in life. And so I thought possibly having a postpartum like just meal prep day, but in the meantime, recipes like this one, I am trying to triple it and add more density to it. Trying to just add more quantity to it, so that way I can, my husband and I can eat a portion of it, and then I can freeze it and utilize that towards like my postpartum chapter. Yeah, my postpartum chapter. And that way it's like, even though I'll still probably have like a meal prep day for the food that we'll eat for postpartum, I still I'm kind of getting a head start. So this recipe, I have added a lot of like just beef stew meat, and I've added like a lot more than the recipe called for. And then the recipe doesn't call for potatoes, but I'm going to be adding them to it. These are wonderful potatoes from my mother-in-law's garden, and they just look absolutely fantastic, and they taste fantastic. So that's a little tip. I'll tell you how it goes, but that's a little tip that I'm trying to experiment, is if you're feeling overwhelmed by actually having a meal prep day, a dedicated meal prep day, to be able to make all the recipes that you want when after you have your baby. I recommend, if you're going to be cooking anyway, you might as well just triple the portion and freeze the other half, and then you can use it. So that's what I'm trying to do, and trying to work smarter and not harder. But I might also make like I am leaning towards also just doing like a general meal prep day for the postpartum time. Just make sure all the recipes are made, so then you could just we could just focus on the little girl coming. I'm so excited. I don't know where my ladle has run off to, so I'm gonna be using the spoon. Ooh, this looks so good. Uh-oh, cat fight. Hold on. Wait, guys, come on. I give you meat if you just stop. Thank you. Kiki's like, meat? Really? Recipe, and it is truly, they did a really good job. It is truly amazing. I like things that have a zing to it, and this one definitely does. A couple of changes that I did make to this recipe, because this one is from the recipe book Eat Like a Girl, and I don't drink, so I didn't add any alcohol to it. I just did the beef bone broth. And something I did change is when you read the instructions of it, it tells you beef bone broth, or you could do water Dijon, I believe it says, as well as, here it is. You could do beef bone broth or water Dijon or stone ground mustard. So what I did is I did beef bone broth, but I also did stone ground mustard. I did a teaspoon of it. I really like that because I like things that have a zing to it, so I think that really added to the soup a lot. And then I also appreciated that this recipe was cognizant of having like really low glycemic sugars in the recipe. It did coconut sugar, so then it could help out when it comes to not spiking your blood sugar levels. I think this one will be a really good recipe for postpartum prep for food, and it's got, I mean, your only problem you're gonna have with this soup is you're not gonna wanna stop. It's really super tasty. The other thing that I did add was the potatoes. Those were super good. I don't think when I go to make the recipe even bigger, I question if the potatoes are going to be good when they're frozen, because that can change the potatoes' texture. So I had added potatoes to this recipe, but I went and I did a bunch of chopping, and I made it where I chopped all of the ingredients. I had extra meat left over. So once we're coming close to the end of this one and we've eaten through a lot of the potatoes, I'll probably add much more like carrots and mushrooms and meat into it, add more beef broth, really limit how many potatoes are in there when it comes time to freezing it for postpartum, because I don't like potatoes once they've been frozen and they had already been in a soup. The texture just kind of changes. It's not terrible, but it just, the texture isn't for me. So that's the only tweak that I will go back to it on the recipe, and I didn't add turnips. So I did quite a bit of changes. I'll go ahead and put in the comment below exactly how I did the recipe, so if you want to do it exactly like me. If you see me looking over, Kiki's playing with her, with one of my hair ties. She loves them. So that is to say, if you want to make it exactly like me, I'll put that comment down below. But if you want to make it exactly like the recipe from Eat Like a Girl, you can get it with the book. It's pretty good. I'll give you guys the link for it. Every recipe I've tried out of here is really solid and super healthy. So this was a 10 out of 10 win. I got the living room decorated, the kitchen's all decorated. It's almost 11 o'clock. I don't have dinner this late, so I'm gonna call it a night and wish you guys a wonderful September, and thanks so much for spending the day with me. Bye.